Hello, Musketeers, and we're back. So, tell me, do you know? Do you know what time it is? Tell me, do you know? Do you know what time it is? Tell me, do you know what time it is? It's circle time. Okay, so you did your circle time routine? Now it's time to talk about our topic for today. Okay, you ready? Do, do, do. We're going on a trip in our favorite rocket ship, zooming through the sky. Little Einsteins, climb aboard, get ready to explore. There's so much to find. Little Einsteins, everybody rocket, rev it up now. Five, four, three, two, one, blast off! Okay, so what are we talking about this week? The what? The beach. What are we talking about? The beach. What are we talking about? The beach. We're talking about the beach. We're talking about the beach. The beach is where people go to relax, play in the water, and just calm down. And the beach is an open body of water. It's usually around an ocean or a sea. And we're going to find out what's the difference between an ocean and a sea today as well. Okay, so, and on the beach, it has something that it's four of them, four different types. There's a what? A seashore. It's a seashore. There's a seashore on the beach. And there's four types of seashores. But we're going to talk about the sandy seashore. And on the sandy seashore, they have all different kinds of things that you can find, like shells, crabs. They have the birds, the seagulls. But it's something very important that we have at the beach that we have to have that the people have to use to get in. What else? We have the seashore, we have the sand, and what's this stuff out here? The open what? It has water. Water. It has water. Water on the beach. There is water. And the water at the beach can usually be blue, green, clear. It depends on where it's located and the temperature and how well they take care of it. Okay, pollution and stuff. So, it's a very important thing that's in this water. It's not regular water. It's not water like you find in a pool. Um, that has chlorine. It's not like the water you find around ponds or lakes. That's fresh water. This water at the beach has something very, 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 very important in it. Do you know what it is? Have you ever tasted the water at the beach? You accidentally got in your mouth? Taste. It's what? Is it sweet? No, 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 no. It's what? Salty. The water is salty. So, the question of the day, why do you think the water is salty? Why do you think the water is salty? So, how many layers is it in the water? How many layers of water are there in an ocean? And what's the difference between an ocean and a sea? Name some animals you could find in the sea. All right. You ready to get started? Okay. So, we're at the beach. We're in we see the water, but there's something going on with the water. How's the water moving? Is it just staying still? Or is it just moving a little bit? Or is it going up and down? Do you know what those are called? They're called waves. Waves. And the caps are right here. You know what? You wonder what caused the waves. I wonder how the waves move. Hmm. So the waves are created by the up and down motions of the water, the back and forth of it. So those are caused by the ocean or orbital waves to get their start when the wind blows on the open ocean. So the waves are caused by the wind. The wind blows on the water. Blow on the water. So if you have a cup of water and you blow in the cup where the water is, what does the water do? It moves. So that's what causes the waves. The stronger the wind, the more in depth the waves are because it transfers energy and it makes the peaks on the waves, and it also causes the caps of the white caps on the waves to come up. So you'll see some of that in your ocean in a bottle today that you're going to make with Miss Crystal, okay? So we have the waves. Now, dealing with that, what's the most important thing about the ocean? We talked about the water, how the water is moving and everything. Now, Miss Trina just said that the wind blows on the water to cross to create the waves. Now, another important thing about the ocean. The ocean is responsible for the weather. It's responsible for the weather. The currents distribute heat around the planet, and temperature above the ocean creates clouds and winds. Remember the wind? So, and with that, it creates the different temperatures. So it can either be hot or cold, depending on whatever the wind is. That's the air or the temperature, the heat off of that, that's creating the temperature for the day. So the ocean also has low tide and high tide. It has two different tides and happens twice a day. And it's caused by the gravitation force of the moon. Remember last week when we were talking about how um talking about space? So, and about how it orbits around the earth, moves around. So that's how with the sun and everything. So the moon is important dealing with the tides, and it happens at night because the moon. That's not when the tide happened. I'm just saying that's when the moon is more prominent in the sky that you see it most. But high tide and low tide happens twice a day, usually in the morning time and at night or in the evening. Okay, there's five oceans covering the world. Okay, so remember Miss Trina was saying about the salty. Why do you think the water is salty? Why do you think this water is salty? Did they take some salt and sprinkle it in it? No, 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 no. The rain, the rain, the rain makes the ocean salty because the water off the rain, when it rains, it goes on the rocks, and the minerals from the rocks goes down off the rocks, and they lead back into the ocean. So that's what makes the ocean salty. In the ocean, there are five layers. Five layers. So, do anybody know what the bottom layer is called? Where we'll find the ocean floor, the bottom of the ocean, where we'll find more sand and everything. And what color do you think the bottom of the ocean is? Dun dun dun. Is it blue, light blue, like the rest of the water and stuff? Pretty water? Ah, okay. Well, let's find out. So, the layer that we actually play in when we go to the ocean or to the beach, whichever one you would like to say, we pretty much play in the sunlight zone. The sunlight zone. That's like the very top, like the surface. The surface is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 layers to the water in the ocean. So we play in between the sunlight zone, and that's just typical people just going to the beach, just going out there playing in the water. So if you go scuba diving or a little bit, you might hit the twilight zone and maybe just a little tip of the midnight zone. You hardly ever have anybody that goes to the abyssal zone, the abyss zone, or the trench zone, and that's the bottom. You are hot. Um no divers have ever, so I've heard, never reached the bottom of the ocean floor. It's down at the bottom, way down there, and it's dark. It's dark because there's no sunlight hitting it. The deeper you go down in the water, you see how it gets darker, and that's because there's no sunlight, no oxygen. It's going down, down, down. So it's dark. Okay. All right. Now we talked about the ocean. What is the ocean? Hmm. Are the ocean and the sea the same? Do you think so? They all have seashores. They have layers. They have waves, and they have animals in them that live in them. But what's the difference? Hmm. The ocean is a continuous open space, open body of water. The sea, however, is partly enclosed by land, partly enclosed by land. And those are the seas. That's what the seas are. All right. So yesterday we talked about the ocean that's closest to us. It's the Atlantic Ocean. So now we're going to see what animals we find in the ocean. Okay? Okay. All right. Now, this animal right here is said to be so humble and quiet, and he hardly ever bothers anybody. But he's really, really, really big. What is he? Hmm. Oh, what? Well, um, let's go back a little bit. Let's backtrack. Let's backtrack. Okay. We have the water. We're at the ocean. And what do we say we need to find? We need water. And water starts with what? What? W. So let's see if we can spell water. What, water. Water. So it's a W, water, water. What makes the sound? T, t, t. I mean a. Now what makes the sound? T, water. What makes the sound? The R. So those are the sounds here. Water. So there's a silent letter in there. It's missing the W. The spelling is Water. What? Water. I didn't hear the E. Did you hear it? Okay. Now, something else that the ocean has. Remember we said the up and down? Those are the what? The wave. The wave. So, how do we spell wave? What? Wave. Wave. W. What makes the sound? Uh, uh, uh. Wave. Uh, uh. Wave. A. V. Wave. V. V. What makes the V sound? A V. Wave. It has a silent letter too. Those are the sounds that you hear right there. W, a, wave. Wave. So the correct spelling is W, A, V, E. So what letter is silent in both of the words? The what? The what? The E. The E is silent in both of the words. Okay. Now, let's get back to what we were doing. The animals. I had to do that first. I was like, oh man, I forgot to do something. So we said the whale. The whale is the silent animal in the ocean and peaceful. But he's so big that he looks scary, but he's actually not all that scary. He's very harmless to humans. Some whales are dangerous, but majority of them, they're pretty chill and just quiet. Okay? Oh, let's put the wave up there as well. Let's see. Now, these things, they swim around, they have gills and fins, and when they travel in big groups, they're called schools. Not like a building school, but because it's a lot of them in a pack. It's called a school. So, what is it? What animal is it? A fish. A fish. Now, this animal is very unique and it's like majestic and it's so beautiful and cute if you ever see one up close. I've never seen one, but it has a unique name to it too. It has C and then something at the end. A seahorse. A seahorse. This animal, it looks like a snake. Some of them are electric and some of them are not. What creature in the ocean looks like a snake and it lights up? It's called electric eel. See, it looks like a snake. Slithers like a snake. Okay. Now this one, it looks like a shark, but it's not a shark. It's more playful and more safer than to be with a shark. And a lot of people, if they go on vacation, they like to do this with them. They like to swim with them. Do you know what it is? A dolphin. A dolphin. A dolphin. Okay. Now this one, you can find him a little lower at the bottom, a little lower. And he has 8 legs, an elongated body, and he has tentacles. Hmm. Octopus. Octopus. Okay. This one, they will sting you as well if you get close. They light up as well. But they have little tentacle things hanging down from them as well. And they a lot of time they'll blow up and sometimes they'll end up on the seashore as well. But it's not safe to touch them. And SpongeBob likes to go do what with a net? He likes to go jellyfish hunting. This animal is one of the most feared animals in the ocean by the other animals as well as humans while we're in the water. And they can come on the shore, close to the shore, when you're swimming at the top surface of the water. So the lifeguard has to be on the lookout for them at all times. Their bite, if they bite you, is very vicious and it hurts. Oh, a shark! A shark! A shark. Now, this animal, this creature, it has 8 legs, elongated body, 2 extra long tentacles, and it also has something different from the octopus. Do you know? They have fins on their head. A squid. A squid. See the 2 fins? They have fins on their head. And they have 8 long legs, like the regular octopus. And then they have 2 long extra tentacles. 2 long tentacles right here. A squid. Now, there's other animals that are in the ocean as well. I didn't put them all up here, so I want you to think of some other animals that you would see in the ocean. Okay? All right. Thank you for going deep sea diving with me and talking about the ocean water. Okay, until next time. Bye bye.